Agriculture in India is going through a phase of transition. In the environment of global competition into which the Indian farmer has been pushed, the farming practices need to undergo a qualitative change. Apart from increasing agricultural production and diversifying into new crops and other agriculture-related activities, there is need to make production, packaging and marketing more competitive to meet international quality requirements. The government is therefore exploring new approaches to agricultural extension management.
This raises a question as to what do we do to sustain this level of production. Most important thing which comes into mind is productivity enhancement and cost cutting. Now this would require a different kind of extension than what we have been practicing so far. Then we also come across a question that just by having surplus, you are not able to export. You have to meet consumer preferences, you have to meet quality standards, you have to meet various health specifications, and all this mandates that the technological input which goes into the production system must improve. Farmers should be able to make well-informed choices, and they need to be helped in making appropriate choices with regard to what to produce, for which market to produce, what quality to produce, and when to produce, and at what cost to produce.
On the one hand, there is a surplus of qualified manpower in the form of agricultural graduates. And on the other, the public extension system is not able at this stage to cope up with the considerable gap between actual and potential production.
On the one hand, there is a gap in technology. I said that 50% production can go up. And on the other, we have the huge infrastructure about which people don't have much satisfaction. On the other side, the third dimension is that we have a very large number of people who are well qualified, who are spending 4 years, 5 years in the university. And then eventually they find there's nothing much to do. What do they do? So we felt that maybe, there are three positions, there are 3 different places. Each is needed, but if we could just put all everything together, then we can really achieve a much better, much larger objective in this country.
But to begin with, we thought we should concentrate on agricultural graduates, and therefore we have kept that as a primary objective of tapping the resource which is available in the agriculture sector in the country for providing quality service to the agriculture.
This scheme visualizes a possibility that we would be slowly enabling the private sector extension to replace the public sector extension in all those areas where it is possible for the farmer to pay to get quality advice.
There are a host of services which could be provided through private extension based on the available technical manpower which could be trained in entrepreneurial skills.
For most of his needs about diagnostics of pests, diseases, etc., as well as to seek correct advice about the backward linkages of right inputs, right quality seeds, appropriate package of practices for say insecticide use, weedicide use, and pesticide use, fertilizer use, and then once he is ready for harvest of his crop, the horticulture or agriculture crop, is to advise regarding better post-harvest practices, better marketing practices, and then advise about where to go, what farm to take the produce, how we can get a better price.
To meet these requirements, the government has launched the Agri-Clinics and Agri-Business Centres scheme. Agri-clinics are centres which provide expert services and advice to farmers on cropping practices, technology dissemination, crop protection from pests and diseases, market trends and prices of various crops in the markets, and clinical services for animal health, etc., which could enhance productivity of crops and animals. And agri-business centres are those which provide input supply, farm equipment on hire, and other services.
We found that 9,000 graduates are available every year. I was just now calculating that we have about 6 lakh villages in this country. And for every 10 villages, maybe one such agri-clinic, is. And agri-clinic will have all kinds of things.
The Agri-Clinics and Agri-Business Centre scheme has been launched with the collaboration of 4 partners.
So the partnership between a promotional body and a financial institution like SFAC, a refinance body like NABARD, which is also part owner of SFAC along with Government of India, and a training institution like Manage, which is taking the lead under the able leadership of Shri Goyal to organize and supervise training programs in more than 60 institutions all over the country. We are trying at least 2 or 3 institutions in all major states and at least 1 institution in all smaller states. We will sharpen the skills, hone up the skills of these agriculture graduates and try to make their enterprise a success.
The program aims to tap the expertise available in the large pool of agriculture graduates. Agricultural graduates can set up their own agri-clinic or agri-business centre and offer professional extension services to innumerable farmers. The objectives of the program are: A. To supplement the efforts of the government extension system. B. To make available supplementary sources of input supply and services to needy farmers. And C. To provide gainful employment to agriculture graduates in new emerging areas in the agricultural sector.
This is not just an entrepreneurship development program. The primary objective of this scheme is to provide quality extension services.
The scheme is open to agriculture graduates and graduates in subjects allied to agriculture, like horticulture, sericulture, forestry, veterinary science, animal husbandry, dairy, poultry farming, pisciculture, and other allied activities. The government is providing startup training to those graduates. The graduates who complete the training can apply for special startup loans for venture.
And this is very, very important for all the gurus who have assembled here to understand that they have to produce not a person who will be given job by either a government or a university or ICAR or some private sector, but who has to put his shop in that mandal, taluka, hobli by himself and sweat it out. This person will not work from 10 to 5 in the public sector. He will not work from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. in a private sector. He has to remain awake for 24 hours because it is his own sector.
The scheme was first advertised on February 27, 2002.
February 27th, when the advertisement was published in all newspapers, morning 9 o'clock, we received a telephone call from Rampur, UP. First of all, that person was very happy and he registered his name. Afterwards, in fact, the responses started pouring in.
Its success was ensured from the huge, enthusiastic response from potential agripreneurs.